Dynamic voices for a diverse church. This is Pass the Mic.
Man, I'm excited to be in ATL, bro.
ATL is the spot, man. Look, civil rights movement, you know, and then so much culture.
You gonna go roots immediately?
Oh, just so much black culture here. It's so interesting.
Yeah, I was telling him earlier that I was watching the Maynard Jackson documentary on the plane over here, and then it's like a really short plane ride. But
Tell them who that is.
Maynard Jackson's Atlanta's first black mayor, and uncles do that too. By the way, they speed up and then like slow down for like. They speed up for like 200 yards.
See, now
like,
everything gonna be uncle culture. Everything gonna be.
like, uncles do that.
That's all right, cut and tie. That's all right.
But yeah, so Maynard Jackson's Atlanta's first black mayor, and so I was watching this documentary, and I hadn't really heard like that in depth of a story about it, and so I was only able to see a little bit of it because it's a short flight. But it just reminded me, like, man, like Atlanta itself underwent so many changes drastically. Like there were drastic changes, and a lot of it started with people like Maynard Jackson. It was before that, but when we talk about politically, he instituted little things, and I was just getting into that part where he instituted little things.
What year was that?
Man, I think it was like 1973, I want to say. Early 1970s. And since then, Atlanta's had like 4 black mayors. Well, 5 now with Keisha.
Yes.
Yeah, Keisha Bottoms. So it's cool, man. The city's just, I'm always in Atlanta for one reason or another. Like, it's the city I'm always in. It's just always in Atlanta. And so there's different sides to Atlanta. There's Decatur, there's Lithonia, there's,
East Point.
Marietta, there's all East Point. So there's different sides to Atlanta, but I just really enjoy,
What's so
the
interesting?
city.
Kevin Cruz is a really well known. He's got his Twitter game is on fire.
Yeah, Kevin Cruz is most well known for dunking on Dinesh D'Souza.
Exactly. He made a ministry out of that.
He made a ministry. It's like, I gotta get on this Dinesh dunk ministry.
Denouncing false history teachers. But he wrote a book on white flight in Atlanta, and it was so interesting because Atlanta positioned itself, particularly under Mayor Hartsfield, as the city too busy to hate. And so they positioned themselves as this really business-friendly city, which meant they couldn't have all of these massive resistance campaigns against integration.
Right.
And so perception-wise, Atlanta, and it bled out a little bit into Georgia more generally, was seen as less racist and all this stuff, but he's showing in his book, like, actually, no. There was a lot, especially when you were looking at residential desegregation, people went to wild lengths to keep their neighborhoods white, including church leaders, right? So that part made it into the color of compromise.
Oh,
Yeah,
bro.
real interesting.
What slid that in there? It's like, look.
Look, it's just like, yes.